No, dude, look, whenever someone uses an orange skin, they
automatically get your
my
caster
skin.
bias.
Yeah, of course.
I see, I see.
Alright, so Stevenator, the clear favorite in this matchup, should 100% win this game. Down with Remmy. Let's go, Stevenator.
Alright, I'm going to leave Gravy Cancel Sunday. Farewell, everybody. No, here we go. First match, Stevenator's Orange Asuri, getting the favor of Orange B. Both players giving off the salute. Remmy opening up with the sword, Stevenator opening up in kind. Both players being very kind to each other in regards to these emotes, and...
Alright, Stevenator finding an opening combo, but Remmy returning with some unarmed and a ground pound. So far very even. Both players just sort of trading damage back and forth.
Remmy goes in with a D-like, gets in the air, puts Stevenator into the orange. The recovery actually sends him high, nearly into the red, and Remmy just putting out an N-sig, trying to read a ground pound, I suppose, and Remmy holding on to the bow, goes for the ground pound himself, and Stevenator hits him with the recovery, sends him into the orange. A ground pound hits from Remmy. Remmy holds on to the bow, goes for that down sig, goes for the down air, nothing really hitting, and Stevenator gets hit by that N-sig. Excellent read.
read.
Remmy takes the first stock.
That was a great read by Remmy to just throw that neutral sig out there, because he knows Stevenator wants to go for a dare on top of him.
Oh, whoops. I need to update. I need to update this, the bracket. There we go.
Steve very close to killing Remmy, though. A Nair would definitely do it. Side air probably too, but he's not quite finding them.
Stevenator goes for
Remmy doing a good job.
Yeah, Remmy gets that down light.
Oh, okay.
And Stevenator ends
the down sig does it.
Remmy waits patiently for Stevenator to try to go in, but doesn't even pick up that weapon. Picks up a new one that spawns, gets the ground pound to recovery, goes for a GC neutral sig, and Stevenator punishes him aptly for that. Gets off stage, barely gets his dodge back, but Stevenator's looking to end the stock really quickly. Side airs coming out, down airs. Remmy gets back on stage with the sword, tries to go for a down air, but gets caught by a neutral sig. Stevenator's running around with the stock. Even though he's taking a lot of damage, it feels like Steve's in control, but Remmy gets that side sig, puts him into the deep orange, and the ground pound might actually end it.
The ground pound comes out, that's it. He takes the stock. So Remmy takes the advantage here. Wow, this game is moving so fast. Both of those stocks were under 50 seconds.
Cider comes out. Remmy tries to get another neutral air, but Stevenator, despite having complete control of that stock, it just took 3 solid punches from Remmy. But that weapon toss puts Remmy in a position where he's about to die, and the ground pound will kill him. Yeah, he just ground pounds down. I feel like Rem should have tried jumping there. I think he got his jumps back when he hit the stage, or is that not how that works? Either way, it didn't look like he was out of jumps, and Rem...
Nah, he was out of jumps.
Ooh, goes for that GC downlight, but doesn't work out. Stevenator tries to punch with the guitar string. Remmy, however, gets out of it, hits him with that downer, the neutral light comes out, and Stevenator gets that weapon toss into unarms. Remmy gets hit by the ground pound, and both players are just exchanging blow after blow. This is an incredibly aggressive match.
Yeah, both of these players are aggro players, so this doesn't surprise me in the least. But they're just trading so evenly. Nobody is taking control of this match at all.
Remmy goes down the ground pound. Stevenator tries to punch with the side stick, but Remmy gets that weapon toss, waits, gets a neutral light. Remmy goes for that D-light, doesn't work out. Side stick being thrown on. Stevenator's so dangerous at that kill percent because of these SIGs that are coming out. And that D-light side air disarms Stevenator, dodges the weapon in the side air.
That's it. He dodges the weapon, and Remmy recognizes that he has to dodge the weapon or he dies, so he just queues up the side air to hit him as soon as he comes out of his dodge frames. That was beautiful by Remmy. That was a perfect edge guard. I don't think there was even a way that Stevenator could have avoided it. So Stevenator is going to switch over to his Bodvar.
And Remmy
is actually going to be playing Hattori.
Makes a Hattori switch. I really didn't use the bow that much that game. Actually, that's not true. We got the N-sig first at the very beginning. I guess I just only remember the sword. But either way, I've yet to see Remmy on Hattori, and both players sporting a black color scheme. Stevenator goes in with the Bodvar, but the sword ends up going to Remmy, and Remmy is going to work on denying Steve from any weapons. D-light downer comes up, but responds to the D-light down air of his own. Stevenator finds the hammer, goes in for a stop, doesn't get it. And both players find themselves in a neutral game.
Both players just trading equally in this aggressive game. I think Remmy wants to play Hattori because he knows that no matter what, Stevenator is going to continue approaching him, and it's going to be an aggressive versus aggressive game.
Yeah.
Hattori SIGs are so good versus aggressive players.
Right, and that stomp,
they just cover all dodges.
And that's kind of an interesting point because Remmy kind of plays really fast, really aggressive no matter who he's fighting against. And he kind of adapts his playstyle of aggression based off the player's playstyle. Like with Wilson, he's not nearly as an aggressive player as Stevenator is. Wow, tosses that spear into the mine, just get rid of it, and a recovery comes out.
Wow.
Stevenator takes the stock.
Okay. That was a really weird hitbox. I didn't think that recovery would hit, but it does. And Steve takes the first kill. He's already in kill percent himself, though. Remmy just needs to find a kill move.
Stevenator comes out, goes to that that dare and actually puts a little bit more damage on the Remmy. Remmy nearing orange. Stevenator just playing with that hammer, stomps the ground, and being able to assert that stock lead dominance. It gets that D-Light down air from punishing Remmy. Waits out that down swing. Gets 2 D-Lights into a recovery. Weapon toss to even continue the combo, and has the hammer, goes for the nair, doesn't connect, and Remmy is struggling with the Hattori. Side sig misses and hit by his side sig. Stevenator's about to take a 2-stock lead. Recovery, whiffs. Remmy gets the side sig.
Alright. So Remmy finds the side sig finally, but he already got placed into the red. Like, deep into the red. Anything will kill right now. A mine definitely would. Recovery on any weapon will kill right now.
Stevenator holds on to the hammer, goes in for that downer. Missing out on that, goes for the stop as well. Stevenator just trying to get the stock ended as quickly as possible, but Remmy is playing quite patiently. Whew, the stomp having an interesting hitbox as he pivots it, and another stomp sider will end it.
So Stevenator is looking to even this series up fast and furiously.
Both players find the sword, but Stevenator tosses his aside and just decides to punch him in the face with his fists. Remmy goes in with the sword. D-Light downer comes out. Was he going to toss that away? No. Stevenator is allowed to pick up the hammer. Goes in for the weapon toss, not the scoop. Goes for an air as well, but Remy is actually able to find a decent amount of damage onto Steve. Steve tosses his hammer into his face but gets hit by a D-Light cider. Remy's looking to even up these stocks.
Yeah, Steve can't seem to... Oh, he's dead. Alright. So, Steve is dead. He doesn't do much with that stock. That entire stock, he just didn't really accomplish much at all, unfortunately. So that's the thing with the aggressive matchups like this, is they are so swingy. Like, one player can take such a gigantic lead in such a short amount of time.
And can make such a gigantic comeback as well, because it's just based off whoever gets the momentum of the stock. Like Remy right now was taking that stock away when Stevenator immediately responds with a string of his own. So whoever gets the first hit, Remy goes in for a cider. Stevenator finds himself on the edge. Will he dodge into a neutral? Like, no. Remy goes around and actually gets the pivot side sig, sends Steve off stage, goes for the ground pound, but Stevenator's ready to punch with the downer into a ground pound. That's the stock.
Oh my gosh, Steve killed him.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. I like that.
Wow, no, Steve had the jumps, but I was worried.
Steve knows what he's doing.
I was really worried about that for a second as well, but Remy bumps his head on the bottom of the stage, and Stevenator actually takes game 2.
Yeah, Steve is definitely a hacker, I can confirm. Wow. So we're going straight into game 3. Stevenator is actually going to switch over to Hattori. The white Hattori this time. White versus black. Stevenator sporting the new skin. Alright. I've seen Stevenator play Hattori before. I mean, he really plays every sword legend, so it's not surprising to see him go for a mirror matchup against Remy. I've seen Steve play a lot of mirror matches intentionally. Like, you saw him, even earlier in this tournament, now that I think about it, he intentionally went for Asuri versus Asuri. Against someone. I think it was Anipop. And wow, he manages to kill Remy very early with a down air gimp off stage. And he's only taken into the yellow. He seems yeah, but so as I was saying, Stevenator really loves these mirror matches. He's one of the few players who does. I've talked to a lot of people who just hate mirror matches, and I feel like that's pretty much the standard thing. Oh, right, okay. It was Stevenator versus Boomy.
D-Light downer comes in from Stevenator and goes
when
for a
he
head
played Asuri versus Asuri.
And that down.
But yeah, Stevenator is destroying right now.
Yeah, Remy's just losing out completely on this Hattori. Stevenator tries to go in for that side downer cider, holding onto the spear as well as he can. But that side stick from Remy will end it. Remy's doing really great with these side sticks during this set, at least on Hattori. But still, he finds himself at almost a stock deficit. Stevenator is able to end this with a D-Light downer. Weapon toss, goes for that recovery, doesn't get it. But Stevenator wants to end the stock pretty quickly. Remy's taking a lot of damage.
Okay, the down sig will finish it off. And that's almost a full stock lead. Stevenator even having the weapon advantage, but Remy gets a lucky little spawn there, finds a spear. And Stevenator's having some trouble getting in again. There he goes.
Ooh, D-Light comes in. Stevenator chasing him off stage with everything that he had in his kit. Goes in for the spear and tries to land with the downer, but weapon toss into a recovery from Remy is actually doing a lot of damage. Stevenator tosses the spear off the side, gets that D-Light into neutral sig, and Remy, is he going to get hit with it? Here,
that's it. He gave up. I don't know if he had the jumps or not to get back, but I feel like it would have been at least worth a try instead of just killing yourself on the last stop.
Yeah, but Stevenator was tossing a lot of gadgets and weapons off the stage. I feel like one of those were going to connect anyways, and Remy saw that coming, and he switches over to Koji. Yeah. He doesn't want to be on Hattori anymore, not in the Ditto.
Yeah, I was talking about how Stevenator is one of the very few players in this game who I feel like he looks for ditto matches. Like he prefers to play mirror matches. Like versus Boomy, he copied Boomy's character twice, and those were the 2 games he won, right?
Right.
And I've seen it in other tournaments as well, and I saw it, and we saw it again there where he chose to play Hattori versus Remy's Hattori. I feel like, and you know how most players they're not into that. They don't like mirror matches.
No, I'm definitely one of those players as well. When it comes to mirror matches, I'd rather counterpick the character than have to deal with fighting my own. Remy must feel somewhat similar as he goes in with the Koji. Dodges underneath the end stick, gets the unarmed combo, but mine gets tossed into the air, and neutral light is tossed up by Remy. Stevenator tries to go for a neutral light of his own as he GCs it. Both players just exchanging sword moves, but Stevenator tosses his sword away, goes for the longer reach of the spear, and gets the D-light side air. Rem is sent into the red. Well, now he's sent to the red. Pogo stick lands, side air, sends Koji flying, and
so Steve has a small advantage here, but it's not very significant because Remy can pull that back with like a Sarah or 2. Recovery lands. But wow, that really good down sig read from Stevenator finishes Remy's stock off rather early.
Stevenator holds on to the spear, tosses it aside. Remy tries to get it down here with the bow. Stevenator, however, didn't have a weapon, picks up the sword now, and he's putting more damage on the Rem as he takes this lead. Rem actually gets the anti-air, sends Stevenator into the red, is trying to look for a signature read, most likely, but no, instead goes for a downer. Side stick comes out, Stevenator charges onto the spike ball, tosses it away, picks up the sword, waits for Rem to approach, goes for a downer for some reason, and a side stick from Remy, with, once again, GC side stick. None of these side sticks connecting, and Stevenator gets hit by an air, but he's not losing the stock. He's still taking a lead. Gets that pivot neutral light. Very cool option coming from Steve. D-light side air puts him into the orange, and Stevenator's making this lead look quite convincingly. What was that D-light interrupted by?
Remy drops his downlight combo.
It looked like it was interrupted by something.
Yeah, it's what it looked like, but he just messed up.
D-light side air comes out from Stevenator. He doesn't drop another D-light side air. That'll probably end the stock. Weapon toss is to come out to a ground pound, but no, Remy actually gets the recovery, makes it back onto the stage, and gets the side air.
Okay. Remy is, I mean, this is a repeat of what I saw last game, where Stevenator took Remy down to deep red on his second stock, and he just killed him the second he respawned. Yeah, just like this. This is literally exactly what happened last game.
Yeah, only Rem's on a different sword legend, but it's the same result. Spear goes down, Remy waits it out, gets that unarmed combo, but like Stevenator's in the yellow, tries to go for a dive kick, neutral light doesn't work out, D-light or down air coming up from the bow, bombs charge, and he just runs into it, taking that trade. That's not on your last stock. Stevenator's perfectly fine with that. Ooh, gets side air, but doesn't hit the mine that he tosses up into the air, and Rem gets sidelighted into side air, into another side air. Stevenator just trying to carry him off with his unarmed, doesn't even need a weapon. He's just destroying Rem right now. Ground pound comes up to interrupt Stevenator's string, but he dodges out of the way. Rem gets a D-light side air, but Stevenator,
he throws it to the side instead of down. That had to be a missed input, and that might end up costing him his life. It does. Steve that could have been a lot better if he just threw it down like he meant to.
Rem gets dive kicked. Ooh, nice GC neutral light to punish Stevenator's positioning. Stevenator goes for the bomb. A lot of explosive spawning, and that will kill, and Stevenator takes it 3-1 over Remy.